Early in the moment, totally devoted. Welcome back to the GOAT Pod. I think we're at episode 6. This is pretty great. It's amazing. I'm here with my lovely, gorgeous, beautiful, very talented Miss Amanda Bacall. Thank you so much for joining the show.
Of course. I'm honored to be here.
I'm obsessed with you, girl.
I'm obsessed with you.
It's so good to see you.
I love seeing you anytime, every time. I'm always happy to see you.
What do you think of the studio, cuz?
I think it's badass.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We just had some people just join the studio just to get a look, and I think we're going to have a pretty big collaboration coming soon, so I'm super excited to announce that. What's going on with you? How you been?
Good. I swear, same old, just like working, a little bit of everything, you know.
Making it happen?
Yeah. And I got to add something. I'm so proud of you.
I love you, cuz.
I really am. I'm honored to be here. And every time I basically pushed myself to do anything, Pierre had my back and was so supportive. So, of course, I have to be here.
Well, you know what I'm saying? We push each other up in this family. We bring up Bacall stick together.
Bacall blood.
Always, always. You know what time it is.
Yes.
It's time for some chai.
Yes.
Some tea. Hello, with our brand new Goat Media cups.
Cheers.
Clink.
I'm gonna be like,
There's nothing in here.
that was
So,
for like 2 seconds.
yeah, that was for the cameras. As you know, I always like to recap last week's topics, right? Did you get a chance to watch last week?
Of course I did.
Oh, thanks, cuz.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
I'm on it.
Actually, you know what? I do want to take one little detour, okay?
Do it.
After last week, I got a little bit of feedback that, just some criticism. I'm not going to call it hate because honestly, I think probably, they're watching, so I'll take it. I'll take it. But some people seem to think that these tea times are, I don't know, unnecessary, or people don't care, or people don't want to hear my relationship advice. I just want to say one thing to you guys. Don't watch.
That's true.
If you don't like it, if you don't care, if you don't think that it's relevant, don't watch. Because I know a lot of people that reach out to me and say, man, that question or that topic or whatever was very, very valid. I've been wanting to address it with ABC, or I've been wanting to know how to talk to a girl in the situation, or I want to know, hey, what are the rules are to when, you like someone else.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, just do not watch, please.
Yeah.
What do you think you have to say about that?
I would say you're being your most authentic self, and if you care that much that you're watching, that's a little strange to me.
Hello.
Just saying, just don't watch.
Just don't watch. Just don't watch. And don't look. I appreciate everybody's support.
Yeah.
But what I don't need is, people trying to tell me what to do with what we're doing. Because at the end of the day, the people that are really rocking with me, my day ones, you know who you are. I freaking love you guys. They're gonna rock with me, and we're gonna just keep stacking those people. Keep stacking those people. So let's get back to the topics, all right? Because they are juicy. Now, how do you want to be approached at a bar? At a wedding?
I was gonna say not at the
not at a bar. I don't think I've ever.
Just being real, you're not gonna find me there.
Yeah,
don't look for me there.
How do you want to be approached at a wedding?
I would definitely say respectable, but cool. Like, you know how you're friendly and you're friends? I think the best relationships start off as a friendship. You don't need to go strong. You don't need to be like too much. Just chill and let it flow and see, and that's it. Yeah,
I was in Mexico this past week, and there was this girl that I didn't know she was married. I didn't notice her ring, but I went and talked to her. I just had this feeling that she was in love. I said, "Are you in love?" She goes, "How'd you know?" And I was like,
"Where's the ring, though?"
Yeah, what's up?
Where was the ring?
No, she had it. I just didn't know.
Yeah,
I just didn't
notice
paying
attention.
Yeah, I was just looking at her body language, and she was just kind of like,
that's actually really cute.
Just doing one of these, And she's like, whatever. I was like, "What's the secret?" I was like, literally, what's the secret? Because you look like you're very content and happy, but also living life. She said, "Be friends first," and I was like, "Really? Like that works?" She's like, "Yeah, it works." So I'm gonna have to try to remember that.
She's right. I think friendship first.
I don't know if that always works, because I feel like some girls want you to be like aggressive and show interest and whatever.
I think do both. So don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying be in the friend zone. I know you've mentioned that before. I'm just saying build on a friendship, be comfortable with the person before you go being too extreme and romantic.
Right.
Then throw it in there.
Yeah. I think different things work for different girls. I spoke to a girl yesterday who said she had been in love one time, only once. She's about 30 years old. And she said the way that it worked for her was the person showed interest and asked her out immediately. But then this is a girl who says be friends first. So I think different stuff works for different people. But I like that for you like to have somebody trying to approach you and just be friends first, show interest, but not too aggressive.
Yeah, just be both. I feel like have a perfect balance of both. You don't want to put too much salt in it and
Yeah.
too much pepper.
Yeah,
It's got to be a good measurement.
Yeah, I like that. Not too
Yeah.
much salt, not too much pepper.
Exactly.
I like that. As I'm over the age of 30, I have a little salt and pepper in the beard and in the hair. So
That's true.
I'm enjoing getting older. I'm trying to go for that Clooney vibe.
You look great.
I
It's
love
your
you, cuz.
Bacall jeans.
I love you, cuz. Hello. But yeah, okay, cool. The other one I wanted to talk to you about from last week. You know what? I forgot it. We'll skip it. We'll just move on to the new topics, okay?
Bring it.
Before we do that, do you have any questions or anything that you want to ask me?
Yeah, I do
Really?
actually. You excited for this?
Put me to the test.
Okay. Would you rather give or would you rather receive?
100% give.
I love that.
That's an easy one.
That's so
that's an easy
genuine.
one.
That's your heart. You're a big. Wait, this next question. You're a big lover, but are you a lover or a fighter?
I think
Both? Because I'm both.
that's a good question. I'm definitely more on the lover side, but I will say this. When you get to that word, once you get to love, right? It takes a while because you can like someone and you can pretend and whatever.
Yeah.
Once you get to love, I think it's much easier to fight with someone you love because, hey, we don't have time for the fake shit.
Yeah.
Like we're getting real and we're getting real right now.
Yep.
Right now because I don't have time to waste. So I definitely both. And also when you really love someone, in my opinion, you can't really fight with someone that you don't care about. You know?
Yeah.
If you don't care about it, you're gonna whatever they say, it doesn't mean anything to you. But you're not gonna if you're fighting with somebody, that means you have some level of care about or for them.
True.
That's
I
my
believe in
opinion.
like fighting for what's right and fighting for your love and defending your love and doing everything to nurture it. And that way I strongly believe in fighting.
Yes.
And being honest and truthful to your genuine self,
I like that.
which is you, to be honest.
I like that.
Okay, next
you.
one, New York or Cali?
Oh, that's Cali. That's Cali.
Ooh.
I rock with Cali. I rock with Cali heavy though. I ain't gonna lie to you.
So Tupac or Biggie?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. Real quick, going back to the New York Cali thing.
Yeah.
Jay Bailey, I'm sorry.
Love you.
Love you, Justin.
Love you, Justin.
But Biggie or Tupac, man. I'm gonna say Biggie just because I rock with the big boys.
Yeah.
Oh. But I spit a couple bars to some Biggie beats along the years. I don't think I've ever done a Tupac beat. Maybe I need to try that.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
And then last question, what's your favorite movie?
Ooh, that's
And
a
why?
good one, cuz. That's a good one, cuz. I want to get your answers to all those questions. But my favorite movie is Hitch. I don't know if you guys
I
have
love
seen
that.
it. My favorite movie is Hitch, rom-com, Will Smith, Eva Mendes,
Yeah.
Kevin James. For me, I just relate so much to the movie. The movie's about Alex Hitchens, who's Will Smith. He kind of helps these guys get in a position to fall in love with women, right? And towards the end of the movie, kind of he gets exposed or whatever as, like a setup man, and he's only there to help guys, do what guys do. But in reality, he's really just trying to set people up for a life of everlasting love. And he goes through his own trials and tribulations with his personal relationships, and I just love that movie.
Me too. That's a really
it's
good
the
one.
ultimate throw it on and smile and have a good time. What about you? What's your favorite movie, cuz?
Okay. Is this bad? I kind of have three.
A
Is
little
that too
bit,
much?
but yeah, I'll take
Okay,
all three.
first one is Count of Monte Cristo.
That's a good one. But
Second
that's just a
one
solid movie.
is like Goodfellas, and the last one is Casino. I have an older brother. Man.
Yeah.
I love my older brother too much.
I was about to say, it was funny because when you said the
Maher.
first one, Count of Monte Cristo, bro, you gotta watch this movie because it's the baddest movie ever, which it is.
I swear, I feel like I have my brother inside my heart.
But it's literally like that. That's like
it is a badass movie.
that's a great movie. Just because the story and like the path, that's a true story of like somebody taking the hard path
Yeah.
and making it on top. So
I love it.
love all those movies. Good. New York or Cali, and then Biggie or Tupac for you.
Okay, I love Cali vibes, how beautiful it is, but I like the New York attitude.
Damn.
I gotta be honest. Yeah, both. I think it's like, I don't know. I think it's in our blood. We're very like strong people.
Yeah.
And I feel like people of New York are very strong. And people of Cali sometimes can be really chill, but I
Yeah.
also love the beauty of Cali, the peacefulness, the
Sure.
laid backness.
Sure.
You need to have the combo. What was the other question? Lover or fighter?
No, Biggie or Tupac.
I love Biggie, but Maher's my brother.
Yeah.
So Tupac.
Tupac.
This is going to be Mary in the future. You know that, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, with Mary, I only listen to pop music. I'm not like Maher just blasting rap.
I was listening to that when I was 6 years old.
Yeah, literally.
And like watching Blood In and Blood Out, like 2001. Not good, but thank God I came out good.
Yeah, it worked out. It worked out.
Yeah.
All right, well, I have a couple questions. Okay.
Cool.
So you talked about Maher a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, here's my question. There's a name that is in my family. Okay. It's my sister-in-law's name and it's my cousin-in-law's name.
Yes.
Okay. And whenever I meet any girl with this name, I just go crazy with the hollering because I know that I will never marry them.
That's so messed up.
Because I'm literally never,
Oh my
I know I
gosh.
will not add this name into our family.
I think we have like 3 or 4 names, even my own sister-in-law.
Yeah.
Like duplicate names.
Yeah, but like, you know, that's
But you're not bringing another one of that
I'm
name.
not bringing
You're
another
gonna
one.
say that
So no
name?
matter what, no, if you know, you know. If you know, you
Yeah.
know. But so when I meet a girl with this name, I'll say the craziest things to holler at them, knowing very
I'm like
well.
kind of scared. What do you say?
Well, I'll just, I'm not inappropriate, but just
Yeah.
like I'll swing and take like the craziest shot because I know no matter what, I'm literally never going to marry
Yeah, see now, what if she likes you?
Honestly, it's funny because I asked my sister-in-law.
Yeah.
I asked my sister-in-law if like she's like, no, you shouldn't, like, I wouldn't care, like blah 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 and that. It's like I know you wouldn't care,
But I would care.
but I would care. But I would care, and I actually really wouldn't care, but I just to
Yeah,
me,
I
it
feel
just
like you
eliminates-
wouldn't.
I really wouldn't, but it just eliminates a certain.
Actually, you never know.
demographic.
You might have that
So-
luck where it ends up being someone with a name.
So I swear. So my question is there a name for you that you wouldn't date? Like, would you date a guy named Maher or no?
No, but I don't know at the same time. But can I tell you something?
Sure.
I love Maher so much. So there's only one Maher, and it's gonna be my brother.
Yeah.
So no,
Yeah. So you would.
I don't even look at names. I don't even think about it.
Yeah, I know. I'm
never
I'm
know.
just curious. You never know, huh? You never know.
His future wife's name is gonna be one of the cousins.
Any
wives.
Mahers out there. Any Mahers out there. Yeah, okay. Adding one more is fine.
Bring it.
Okay, but now we're talking about 3 or 4 of the same name. I can't do it.
No, 3 or 4. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm the only Amanda. I'm
That's
so
right.
lucky.
That's right. For now. All you
Damn
Amandas,
it.
slide in. Because you
We
won't
still
be
have a few more
You won't be Amanda.
bachelors.
You won't be Amanda Bacall forever. So
You're gonna bring in Amanda. I just watch. He's gonna bring someone. Her name's gonna be Amanda.
it's so funny.
For your love, I'll sacrifice my name.
Thanks, boo. All right, and my last question is, we are very lucky to be close, and we've talked about relationships and love along the way, and throughout the years, there's been 1 or 2 people that I've been involved with or you've been involved with where subsidiarily we've gotten like somewhat close with. So like, how is the best way to handle it with somebody that maybe used to date one of your cousins or your brothers or whatever, but like you actually like loved and cared for? Like, how does that relationship change over time?
You're saying like as a friendship?
Yeah, like so your friendship with them, even though like me and them might not be together, or like
I
my
see.
relationship with somebody you might have talked to.
You want me to be truthful, right?
Yeah, of course.
So I think if you genuinely love someone that someone you were close to dated, like your cousin or whoever, I think you should still have love for that person and respect, especially memories and moments. But I think it's more respectful to move on with your cousin. So
Really?
have you ever seen a motorcycle with that little sidecar?
Yeah.
That's me. Okay, so we're moving out. We're ready to go.
If I'm rolling, you're rolling.
Yeah, I show love. I respect everyone, and obviously, it makes you sad sometimes.
Of course,
but
of course.
At the end of the day, it's
And
really
we've talked
your
about
relationship.
and we've talked about that. We've talked
But-
about that. But I've always told you like no, like still be friends, like show love, like even hang out with them
Yeah,
if you
he's
want.
very respectful and loving. That's one thing about Pierre. You're such a big.
You don't
lover.
have to tell me, but I'm just telling you the truth.
I'm
Like,
telling everyone. Just so you know, just in case you don't know Pierre, I want to show the sides that I love and I admire, but that doesn't mean I won't put you in check either. So.
That's what I brought you here. Is like, is there
Yeah.
anything you want to put me in check about? Please do if there is.
I'm trying to think.
We get in our own arguments. Trust me.
I think one thing I will say I'm going to put you in check about because
Please.
I have this fault and I think it's just in our bloodline. we have black and white thinking.
Yes.
And there's always that middle gray part. We can't assume, we can't judge. Like, at the same time, I understand you because I'm old school, like deep in my heart and my mind.
What you said is so true and accurate. Like we are.
Yeah,
very like black, white. Did you do it or did you not?
Yeah.
Are you doing this? Or are you doing that? There's no gray area with us. Like that is very true. And I do need to, I don't even want to say work on it, but be able to like see other people's perspectives when it comes to that.
Alter your core belief because you never know the things that will come around in life and things you don't expect. So
for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I love you so much. Thank you for coming on the show.
We're
super excited. Hopefully we'll be able to bring you back and have you talk a little bit about your businesses. Go ahead and plug your businesses real quick.
Okay, so I'm in HR, but I pursued real estate after COVID. Loved it. Again, shout out to Maher for pushing his sister to pursue something. And then jewelry. I started Sorrel 17 really quick. It's 18 karat gold plated, tarnish rust free, hypoallergenic. Your kids can swim in it. You can go on vacation in it. Affordable for everyone. Crazy cool styles.
Great.
And that's it.
Everybody go check her out, Sorrel 17.
Thank you.
And we'll go ahead and make sure we tag her in any post that we do. I love you so much, guys. Thank you so much for joining this show.
For being here.
Thank you so much. And at the end of the day, I guess we'll have to say, hold on real quick. Can I get one of those just so everybody can hear it at least one time? Appreciate it. I really, really do. I really do.
You.
Thank you so much for listening and showing up. Let's get back to it, baby. Goat Pod. We'll live. All right, Bennett just got here. Bennett is my day one. Since I'm 13 years old, my best friend, but my light-skinned best friend. My very, very light-skinned best friend. Where is he at? What up, yo? What up, my son? What's going on? Welcome to the office. Go media, baby.
Go media.
You ready to sit down?
Let's do it.
Let's get real. All right, set it up. Early in the morning, totally devoted, here with my boy, my brother since I'm 13 years old, 8th grade, 7th grade, Maltby Middle School. My man, Big Bennett Knox Esty. What up, brother?
What's going on?
Thank you for coming through.
And we'll never miss the
The Goat Media Studios.
It's an honor.
It's the manifestation right here.
It is indeed.
You know, we talked about doing something like this our whole lives, and I think that's really the origin of this whole company is, you know, we just got to do it, man. Mm-hmm. We just got to do it. So
go big or go home, man.
That's right.
Johnny Tsunami.
Hey, Bono. That's right, dude. Well, for all you urchins out there, you can stop watching, but if you know the reference, keep going.
Oh.
Yes, sir. So, me and Bennett, we've known each other for almost 20 years now. Mm-hmm. Been a long time.
Oh, yeah.
What is your recollection of how we met?
Maltby Middle School, 2003, the year of our Lord Jesus Christ. Yeah, basically in gym class, hooping. Pierre had just moved from Hazlitt.
That's right.
And you guys moved over. Yeah, just hooping. Me, you, Pat McNulty, Matt Stewart.
The boys.
We just started, hooping.
You were in that dodgeball Tolman situation.
Mr. Tolman, Mr. Carroll.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. So we had this wall at our middle school where they had like all like the records. Like if you had like the 100-meter race, or if you had a record at the school, like the school records, okay? And we talked our teacher into literally putting us on the wall just for having the greatest dodgeball team class of all time.
It was incredible.
There was one move where it's a classic move if you're in gym class where one guy throws the ball up and you get one of these nerds looking straight up for it.
Right in the face. Punished.
Good times. But yeah, man, I vividly remember us in algebra class, which was in 8th grade. Algebra was like advanced. Mm-hmm. And we would just clown in there. And Bennett was like real popular in high school, middle school, high school. The homecoming queen, king, my bad. Sorry. I'm thinking about the homecoming queen. You know who you are. You're still beautiful. Sorry. You're gonna bleep this part out. You're so hot. All right. Anyways, back to the pod. So,
yep.
Let's talk about basically us getting close. Like when did you know that we were gonna be like boys for a long time? Like,
really in 8th grade, I think that's when we really started becoming boys. Mrs. Bacall, she really wasn't down with you leaving unless it was going to one of your cousin's houses.
Right.
We always had to come to the Bacall household, but it was the best house on Ryan Road, School Lake. I mean, those were the days. And yeah, man, it was just right out of the gate. All your cousins would come over, and I was kind of the honorary Chaldean.
Right.
And,
Right.
And that's kind of gone for the last 20 years. I mean, it started in 2003. Here we are in 2023.
It really is crazy. Fun fact about Bennett, the guy's in shape, and he's always been in shape. But my mom would literally keep an extra box of Lucky Charms just for Bennett. It's just like, here's our family supply of Lucky Charms, and then just like one box for Bennett.
Because I grew up in a house where my mom, mind you, was good. I'm a healthy person.
You are.
No complaints.
Very
Shout out
healthy.
to my mom for keeping me healthy.
Yeah, and look at me.
But
Thanks, Mom. For the record, both of my brothers are twigs, and so is my sister. But go ahead.
All I had was Cheerios. But at my house, when I go to the Bacalls, Mrs. Bacall would have the Lucky Charms ready to roll. As soon as I got there, I'd do my hellos. I'd go right to the kitchen in the basement, pour me a bowl, and within about a couple hours, that thing would be gone.
Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern Standard Time. Tell you what.
Man. Good stuff, man. So, through high school and just getting to know us, like, how was it being a white guy, but totally entrenched? Like, whenever you're around us, being around all Chaldeans, which keep in mind, in Brighton, just so you guys know, there aren't any. There was just one, Alvin Jabori. Yeah, and his family. And other than that, there were literally no Chaldeans in our whole school.
Shout out to old US 23 party store.
Hey, still banging them out.
And, well, I mean, they weren't living there, but Brent Jamil.
Yes. Brent Jamil holding it down at the
and then,
at the BP.
And then on my side of town, there was the party store Boomers with Vino.
Yeah. Vino's the man.
He's a Caldo from Farmington Hills.
Yeah. And then more recently on Spencer Road, my boy Chris Camo.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Across from the mobile.
No kidding. Okay.
Yeah. So
Great location.
We're around there. But back then, going to school there was not. So how was it like learning about Chaldeans? Like, what did you think? What did you know about us? And then what were your assumptions?
There was always a lot of laughs. Like, again, Pierre obviously was his own guy, and the culture didn't seem too different at school. But as soon as I would go to their house, I could just tell like I was in a different element. Just the the verbiage, the facial expressions. I swear to God, in my life, this guy. B, you don't understand. This guy on my life
I
is
used
a
to talk
beast.
like that, I swear. I'm still saying swear.
Your cousin Brandon, like, I had brought my lacrosse stuff over one time because you were gonna try out. And Brandon had no idea what lacrosse was. He looked at the stick. He's like, "Is this croquet?" And he was dead serious. I'm like, "Dude, no, this
Croquet.
croquet is
Oh my goodness, dude.
croquet is a stick with a little thing on it." But
so a little backstory about Chuck Esty. So my junior year? I think in my junior year I played JV or whatever it was. Sophomore year. No, sophomore year.
Yep.
Sophomore year, I wanted to try lacrosse. I had never picked up a stick before in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Bennett's dad ran the program at Brighton, and he kind of like helped me get on the JV team.
heck yeah. Well, I mean, you were an athlete.
I could hold my own, but like I wasn't a lacrosse player, but I loved it. I learned a few things, but I was more of a Darren McCarty enforcer, but hilarious, but great sport. But yeah, man, how's Dad doing?
He's doing great. He's still working. He doesn't want to stop. He had retired for a little bit, but his joke is, "I'm not a golfer.
No.
I'd rather be being personable in the business world than relaxing." So
yeah, he's a extremely successful guy, and what I know about successful guys is they like to do what they're good at, and a lot of times that's making connections and making money. So
absolutely.
I don't blame him. I really don't. I really don't.
It is indeed.
Now, as you know, we respect everybody and everybody's ethnicity, but as proud Catholics, you know what I'm saying? We always bonded over that.
100%.
Whatever life holds for the future for everybody, whatever you sometimes you have families and you make decisions, but before every game,
The Our Father and the Hail Mary full of grace.
Yep. And then with one of these, 1, 2, 3, 4,
and then dap it up.
And then we go kill it out in the field. Though. Yeah. So we play
kind of like Mighty Ducks 2, the Bash Brothers.
Exactly. literally the Bash Brothers. And we would just bond over that. But then we go out there and get after it. So we were supposed to go to college together. We talked about going to Michigan State and/or Dayton together, and you were kind of not making a decision. The way that I remember it is you were kind of like not making a decision, and I was at the point where I was like, all right, well, I want to, whatever. I want to go to State. This is my route.
Yeah.
And then you had chose to go to Dayton. At the time, I was salty, but ended up being the best thing for both of us. Talk to us about your experience at University of Dayton.
It was an amazing experience. Kind of going back to that, I was being recruited for football. Had some interest from schools like Eastern Michigan and Bowling Green. Probably would have been more of a preferred walk-on. I had a lot of interest from some D3 schools, but I really didn't. If I was going to play football, I wanted to like live the D1 listyle.
The D1 lifestyle.
Douchey as that sounds. So I was like, if I don't play Division I, then I'm probably going to try to go to Western or Michigan State. I was on with my 3.0 and my 24 on the ACT. I was on the waiting list.
You got 24 on the ACT?
Yeah,
that's really good.
Well, I was never a math guy. I always did good in the reading.
I think I got like a 22 on it.
Social studies.
So. What'd you get on the ACT, G?
Honestly, I don't remember.
It wasn't important. Schools for losers.
No, but definitely. So but on the same token, Dayton had shown a ton of interest. It was a unique school, Division I, FCS, and the teams they played were kind of spread across the country. So there was going to be flights to games. I had read about it. They had a winning record. Our time at Dayton, our time at Brighton, we did not have a lot of success in football or basketball. Lacrosse we did.
As a team.
Shout out to Tyler Starch.
Yeah, what up, Tyler? Tyler follows us, actually. Tyler, appreciate the follow, bro. Miss you, bro. I hope everything's good.
But yeah, so then I went to Dayton, just kind of went on a whim, and it was an absolutely amazing time. I mean, all college is fun. Like if you go to college and you meet the right people, you're going to have a great time. I was fortunate to meet some amazing people. And then the Dayton atmosphere is really unique. There's about 11,000 people that go there. And everyone that's a sophomore or above lives in one of two neighborhoods. So there's what they call the ghetto, which is like the main neighborhood. And it's like 500 houses, 95%.
Why do they call it the ghetto?
It's just a nickname, Yeah, there's no real, because they're all nice houses.
Yeah,
but most of them are owned by the school, and there's some that longtime landlords. And then there's this other neighborhood that they call it the dark side. It's on the other side of campus. It's only maybe 2 or 3 streets, maybe 100 or so homes. Still nice, but everything really goes down in what they call the ghetto, and it was fun. I mean, the police officers were different than Western or Michigan State. I mean, if you got caught drinking there, you might get the MIP. At Dayton, as long as you weren't embarrassing yourself or drinking in the street, you were cool. So it kind of had a relaxing vibe.
Yeah, I remember one time we had gone and they did this thing. I don't know what you called it, where everyone would wear jerseys. It was sick.
Well, that was just that was Saturdays.
That was just every Saturday.
Every Saturday, you throw your jersey on.
Everyone just random jerseys,
guys and girls. Yeah, random jerseys.
And one time they were playing some type of flip cup, some type of something, and it was getting rowdy. And then a police rolls by. Everyone kind of calms down just a little bit, and then. And they just start partying with us. Going nuts.
Such a laid back vibe, and I was fortunate to meet some great people. Obviously, all them. Again, nothing against going to other schools, with your high school friends, but not a lot of people probably branch out as much if you're going just with your high school friends. So the guys I met
ended up being real lifelong.
Exactly,
lifelong
and it was just
guys.
Totally different cultures.
And it's crazy that like you end up you're in high school with people like every day for 4 years, and a lot of those people you've known since you were like 8, 7, whatever it is, since elementary.
Pat McNulty, the Salones, Nick Hoffman, Matt Walker.
Yeah, and you
Michael
just,
Wiley, if you're out there.
And some of
I've known those guys since I was in second grade.
It's insane. And like some of them you stay close with, and the other ones you're still cool, but you just drift apart. But then your college boys, especially your teammates, those are like your dogs. Like you talk to them every day.
Yeah. I mean, we have a little mini, group text, me, you, and Price Burton and Thomas Rice.
Yeah,
Shout out to the bonus room.
The bonus room. What up, boys? What up, boys? So yeah, well, I want to get into the.
But
I want to get in. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, but going back to Dayton, was able to meet people from not necessarily all over the country, but different cultures. So I had friends, from a lot of farm country in Ohio. You know what I mean? I had people from Pittsburgh. Obviously, we'll get to that. We live there, but Pittsburgh is a very unique community in the United States. I had friends from the city and like a real city lifestyle, not like a dangerous, like what you might think in Detroit or something like that, but true neighborhoods, cultural differences, and it was very eye-opening, and it was a lot of, it was awesome to visit those different places. And like I said, it was, really cool. I had an influence on my sister. She followed me to Dayton. Catherine and I, shout out to Catherine.
Shout out, Kat.
We're very close now. We weren't the closest in high school. And I think she took a chance by coming to Dayton. I think she just like, if my brother's loving it this much, maybe I'll try it too. And, she said it was the best decision of her life. Nolan McNulty, kind of like a little brother to me. He followed me there. He says it was the best decision. Zach Wisniewski, Kelsey Wisniewski followed him.
Dayton's a great place, bro.
Yeah, it was a good place.
It is. It's a great place. And shout out to Catherine. A little back. Catherine. I don't know if you've heard the story. Maybe you have. We were in high school, and I came over to your house, and I saw like a Jennifer. What was it? Jennifer Lopez. Some type of DVD. Jessica Simpson, Jessica Lopez, whatever. And I'm like, my man, whose is this? You're like, fam, that's Catherine. And I was like, man, I'm into this stuff too, man. What's up? But you're like, no, you weren't claiming it. But anywho, so you mentioned earlier, we would go on to live together twice after that experience, the Dayton experience. So I didn't get to miss out on living with you too much. Yeah. But we'll backtrack a little bit. Now, we're good kids.
Yeah.
But we happened to be around a lot of troublemakers growing up.
A lot of troublemakers. A lot of troublemakers.
Can we get into some stories from the high school days? Can we talk about the party? You know the party I'm talking about? The TT party.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So first of all, talk about how we had just gotten there and what the situation was.
So for those of you at home who know Pierre, he does not like to be coached while he's driving. No backseat driving whatsoever. And sometimes I'd have to tell him like, whoa, and he'd be like, B, have I ever gotten in an accident? Shut up. I'd be like, all right. So we had just pulled up, and there was a car maybe like 20 yards in front of us. And Pierre had basically like taken his foot off the gas, and we were just kind of, I don't know what's the word? Idling. And Pierre's talking to me, and I'm like, okay, yeah. And I'm looking at the car, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, should I say something? Looking at the car, looking at him, and we're getting closer and closer. And Pierre's like, what are you? Like, and we hit the car. He's like,
all I see is Bennett the whole time. Like looking at it, we get worried. Like, bro, what are you looking at? Boom! And we smashed right into the car.
Thankfully, no scratches.
Thankfully, no scratches. Well,
we were able to put it in park.
Then we walk into this treacherous party.
Absolute treacherous party. A lot was going on. A lot of mischief.
Yeah, a lot of mischief. People were indulging in the house.
Yeah,
and a lot of different stuff. Let's just say there were cigarettes ashed on a sofa couch.
A lot of ash on the sofa couch, or lifting it up like this, put it under. A little bit of destruction. Again, me and you were always the spectators.
Oh yeah. We're watching. We're not partaking in any of this garbage.
Yeah, just laughing our asses off.
Yeah,
and the cops come.
Yeah, yep.
And everyone runs into the storage room. There's got to be like 30 people in the storage room, and everyone's just kind of chilling. And everyone, some people are nervous, some people are tripping out, and haven't seen you in like 15 years.
Yeah, I hope you're doing good, Josh.
Hope you're doing good, Josh. Shout out to just lights one up, and he's like, And he's like, if we're going down, we're going down. He's like, I'm smoking. And so the girl whose party it was starts freaking out. Like, the cops are going to come, they're going to come inside. You're going to be doing this. Why are you doing this? And he's like, I'm not stopping. Like I'm going to enjoy myself. And a couple other people, I forget, but they continued. And thankfully, because no one was outside after an hour, the cops had ended up driving off and, we were able to get out of there. But yeah, there's some other aspects to that party. I don't know if it's
street legal.
I don't know if it's street legal. Oh man, there could still be some warrants out.
Yeah, there might be. That's hilarious. Now we had some funny times at Dayton. Maybe we'll get back to that.
Okay.
But after Dayton, we both talked about what we wanted to do with our life.
Yeah.
And you were moving to Pittsburgh.
Yep.
To join PLS Logistics. And for me, I was looking for a change of scenery. So I decided I would come with you.
Yeah.
Now,
do you remember how we made that decision on a whim?
I mean, kind of.
We were in my kitchen, and
right.
I was like, the apartment I got is pretty big. For the price, it was awesome for the price, like how big that place was.
Oh,
for
yeah.
$1,400. I was like, dude, if you want to live with me, I mean, if your fam is cool with it, come. And you were like, I'm coming. And I'm like, well, you might want some time to think about it. He's like, no, I'm going to take that offer right now, and I'm going to move in. And that was that. We were just in my living room. You didn't even hesitate. You're like,
I was ready, man. I was ready. I was ready for a new city and a new situation, a new experience. And, I did a little bit of research on Pittsburgh in general, but I didn't know too much. But ended up being, one of the best, year or two, of my life. It was really, really fun just getting to know the city and those people. And we had a good time.
We had a great time. Pittsburgh is such an amazing city. What I always tell people, it's like there's really no reason that one would want to visit Pittsburgh other than maybe going to a sporting event. And I don't mean that disrespectfully, but it's like it's kind of in the middle of nowhere to a certain extent. No one really knows about it other than, the sports teams. Like if you go to Philadelphia or New York City, it's just so massive. There's so much stuff to do.
Yeah, there's more history behind it.
Yeah. And then, like who's gonna go to Pittsburgh? If you're from Michigan, if you want to go to a big city, you just go to Chicago.
Most people in Michigan don't understand how far or how close Pittsburgh really
4
is.
hours. Yep.
Literally just 4 hours, and you're like, really? Like Pittsburgh 4 hours? Well, it's West PA. It's essentially Ohio almost. It's like right there. Just go across the Erie Lake Erie.
Yeah, and as soon as you get there, you realize it's like West PA is beautiful. All the trees, the hills. The city is a nice, safe, clean city. Great, just blue collar people. The living expenses, like it's not very expensive at all. Like everything
cost
is relatively cheap.
Low.
Cost of living. That's what I'm looking for. Very cheap, and we just had a blast. Thankfully, my office happened to be in the neighborhood called the South Side. That was just the name of the neighborhood. And as a young kid, right out of college, that's the place you want to live. It had from 10th Street to 24th, there was something like 50 bars or something like that.
Yeah, something insane.
And it was just a lot of fun. We had such a sick house. We were welcome guests. We had people stay over a lot.
Do you remember Harold?
Yes.
So
Harold.
So we move into this place, and like the guy who rents it to us is this old guy, like kind of like you could tell he's had a little bit of success because he owns the apartment.
Yep.
But he's not like really on top of his stuff. So he calls his son, who is like this maybe like mid-30s pothead, like didn't know
totally, dude.
Oh, what's up, guys? Like, oh yeah, here's your key, and like just like totally out of it, and we're like,
bro, wait, what are we getting ourselves into?
No wonder. And your mom, I think your mom, if I remember, she tried to ask him to paint, and like we knew that would we met him one time, and we knew like, oh, that's never.
He never came back. Yeah, as long as we paid the bill, he never came back. Literally,
for sure. So, now you let me know if you have any funny stories about Pittsburgh that you want to share, but the most iconic is Homegirl Corner.
Homegirl Corner. Yeah, indeed.
What, you want to tell the people about Homegirl Corner?
Absolutely. So it was in Oakland, which is the neighborhood that Pitt is in.
Yep,
And,
University of Pittsburgh as well as like Carnegie Mellon.
And it may have been what my buddies call like a Bennett, you had to be there story, because I have a lot of those.
No, it's funny.
And basically, we were just driving through. I think we were going to get something to eat, and the music wasn't on, and we just weren't really talking. Like, not bad vibes. It was just cruising.
One of those mornings where we're just not like, I'm not whatever, bro. Like,
Yeah.
what's up? You want to get food? Okay.
And we're just driving to get food, and we look, and there's this guy and this girl. They're just talking, and we're both looking like, okay, there's a little something going on here. And Pierre's like, he's hollering at homegirl, you know. And I just thought that was the funniest phrase of all time. So homegirl corner.
Look, because the guy was like, you could tell, like, I don't know,
He was putting in work.
the body language, like he wasn't like totally in. Like he wasn't like, this is my boyfriend. Like that wasn't the body. Like he wants to be the boyfriend.
Yeah.
And he was like, whatever. He was talking to her. They're on the corner of the street. And it's like, hey, he's hollering at homegirl.
Yeah,
he's trying to make her his.
100%.
That was great, man. Love Pittsburgh. Shout out to Prandel's.
West Mifflin,
Yeah,
DQ.
Prandel's Bakery. That burnt almond torte was crack. That's where I worked, and I worked as a whatever in this bakery, and I also worked as a babysitter for this amazing family, and loved it. And then shout out to, what was the breakfast spot?
Pam's
Diner.
the greatest pancake in the history of pancakes.
That chunky monkey, man. That was
It's
great.
rumored that when Jesus broke bread, he broke bread at Pam's. That's how good it is.
Yeah. So we ended up coming back and living together at Royal Oak, but let's dive into some more controversial topics. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Is LeBron the greatest player to ever pick up a basketball? Yes
No.
or no?
Oh. Wait, who do you think is the best?
G has an opinion.
I think now it's like Steph Curry, but
Yeah.
Okay.
She's part of that Steph generation,
Yeah.
which is hard. It's hard to say that he's not one of the greatest. He is. But you don't got LeBron?
I don't think LeBron's the greatest.
Who's the greatest?
I mean,
Like, you think Steph is the greatest ever?
from my era, like I didn't watch like Michael Jordan play, but like from what I've seen, Steph Curry is the greatest.
Okay. I would have to politely disagree. I just think, LeBron, and I get a lot of heat for it. You know, there's a lot of our friend crew that's, like
Mine too. Mine
yeah,
too.
Shout out to Ben Welsh, and Zach Nichols,
Anti-LeBron guys.
anti-LeBron people. But I'm a huge supporter. Perhaps not so much the political stuff. Sometimes I wish he would kind of keep his mouth shut. But his just what he can do with the basketball and the way he's dominated the game for so long. Like it's one thing to get to the top, but to maintain it, it's incredible. And his ability to repeat day after day, like you have to, whether you like him or not, you have to respect like how serious this guy must take his craft. Like to be healthy for basically 20 years, like, obviously this injury is a little something. But to do it, and with all the criticism and hate that he takes, perhaps it does bother him, but he brushes it off publicly like it's nothing. Like that can't be easy. Take it.
The thing. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I just have a tremendous amount of respect for the way he can just brush it off and then do it every day. Like there's on JJ Redick's podcast a couple days ago. Whenever he has people on, he always asks them about LeBron. And Al Horford was telling a story, and basically in Game 7 of the 2018 Eastern Conference Finals, like Al Horford was like, I was in the best shape ever. The other guys were rookies. Like we were in such good shape, and it was the last 4 minutes of the game. We had just come out of a timeout, and he's like, we were exhausted. Like we were like just absolutely gassed, and we look over, and LeBron is just with his arms crossed, just like with his legs crossed, just sitting on the scores table, like unfazed, and again, just his dominance. So just stuff like that. That's why I think he's awesome.
No, totally. I don't think he's the greatest ever, but he is a GOAT. He is the greatest of his time, for sure.
The greatest of his time. Like Steph Curry
is the
greatest of his time.
Yeah, their eras intertwine. But the thing about LeBron, and obviously you're right, some of the extracurriculars, I could live without.
Yeah, big time.
But if you were a if you were born in 2001, and
Me?
I'm sorry, yeah, 2001, 2001. That means from the time from the time that you were 10 years old to the time you were 20 years old, LeBron was in the finals every single year. That's insanity.
He was in the final for 10 years?
I think 9 years. But like,
I mean, but how many did he win?
Ooh, G's chirping
Bro.
right now.
look, the one thing that I think is like the dumbest argument that people make is you lost in the finals. That is like so freaking stupid.
How?
I'll tell you why. Because that guy is playing the same more games than anyone in the whole league,
And more minutes.
and more minutes, and making it to the finals is a monster accomplishment. Winning it, of course, obviously is the goal. Obviously, that's the end goal. But when you make it to the finals, you're playing an extra month and a half of basketball than anybody else. So you do that for 10 years. He played in like 3 seasons. You know, he literally played 3 extra seasons.
Are you his attorney?
Whoa.
I don't think he's the greatest ever. I think
Wait,
Michael is the greatest ever for a couple different reasons. What?
I thought you and I were always on the same page that LeBron's the best ever. Is Price Burton having that much of an impact on you? Is Zach Nichols having that much of an impact on you?
Love both of those guys, but no. And I think for myself, I don't give a fuck what either of them think or say. The reason why MJ's the man over LeBron is very, very, very simple. Okay? Fourth quarter free throws, and just leadership. Now, LeBron's an amazing leader. He knows how to get his guys engaged. He knows how to get them involved in the game. Okay? But my type of leadership is more accountability than it is friendship. Right? So my type the type of leader that I want to be is not like the pat on your back, it's okay all the time type of guy, right? Not that that's LeBron, but that's just what I see. I want a guy that's saying, bro, what is your job? Did you do it? If you don't, I'm going to bust your ass till you do, and I'm going to make sure you don't hear it. Now, for me, I thought that Michael had done that. He'd also won a national championship in college, okay?
Yeah.
So he hasn't accomplished more, but to me, he's the greatest player. So there's no Kobe's in this room. I know there's only 3 of us. There's other people that you could choose. For me, it's Michael, but I think that anyone that thinks you can say the words LeBron James and he's not number 2 minimum, you're out of your mind.
Right.
Personally. Okay. Now we have both had the opportunity to see Tom Brady
Yep.
play live. That's our dog.
That is.
Yep. And obviously we know he's the GOAT, but who do you think is the best NFL quarterback right now?
The best? I guess you have to give it to Mahomes with what he's done, his diversity in the game.
If not Pat Mahomes, who would you take? Because it's hard to argue against Pat. He's a Super Bowl champion, 2 rings, But other than Pat,
So I would have to say Josh Allen. I'll try to, if I'm talking too much, stop me. But Colin Cowherd a couple years ago made this amazing point. He's like, quarterbacks were all the same until the 80s when arm strength of Dan Marino, John Elway, and Brett Favre came out. Arm strength like never before. Like they absolutely changed the game. Like if you don't have an arm like that, you're not playing. And then you fast forward to 2000 and Brady and Peyton Manning come in and they change the game where if you don't prepare properly, like they're going to pick you apart because they're reading the defense. As soon as they come, they know where they're going. They know your plays. Like they totally changed the game. And
more X's and O's.
And then now it's kind of like a combination. I thought that was a very interesting point that he made. And guys like Josh Allen and Mahomes, they have the physical capacity and they have the mental knowledge to just dominate. So, and obviously he has the size too.
Yeah.
So I just think if I had to choose, I would take Josh Allen.
Yeah, Allen's not a bad pick. I think there's a couple guys I'd have ahead.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm taking Joe Burrow for sure. I'm also
He would have been my next.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Maybe I'll switch.
You'll switch to Burrow. Yeah. I probably
He's the man, dude.
He's the dog.
Joe
He's the
cool.
dog. He is the new Brady. Like people are all on the Joe Burrow.
But I mean,
train
think
right
about
now.
Burrow's size though.
Yeah.
he kind of speaks to that.
He's
that preface, you know.
Yeah, he's big. He can run. You know, you're right. I mean, he has the athleticism where like he gets a lot of first downs. Same thing with Trevor Lawrence. The guy's a big guy, hard to take down.
Yep.
Reminds me of like, and it's funny because that's kind of like the Andrew Luck prototype. Was like the bigger guy with wheels. You know.
Yeah, and
that
with
could do it.
with the mind. Too.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, that's a given. The arm, the mind, and the wheels. You know. So that's dope. That's dope. Okay. So, talk to me about how you graduate from college. Okay, you get your. I'm sorry, not college. You're done with PLS Logistics. You end up coming back to Detroit and working at Quicken Loans.
Yep.
And then now you're immersed in a ton of ethnic people, right? And especially more Chaldeans, right?
Oh yeah.
So talk to me how that transition was, going from essentially not knowing any, just us, to like, all right, here's everybody else.
So yeah, no, and it's funny. I don't know what it is. I guess I gravitate towards the Middle Eastern culture because
I'm surprised you don't. Honestly, if your wife wasn't your next door neighbor, you probably would have married a Chaldean. I'll be real with you.
Probably. And like, well, not just Chaldeans, but on my first team at Rocket, there was like 5 or 6 guys from East Dearborn. And I was just cool with them, and I remained kind of cool with them. And when I started working at Rocket, you, Thomas, and I lived in Royal Oak for a year. And I ended up getting an apartment in Detroit. And at the time, I had been getting my haircut in a place like in Birmingham. And I didn't want to drive the half hour up there. I was like, where's something I can go in like 15 minutes? And they're like, go where we go. I'm like, okay. And I had never been to East Dearborn. I knew about Dearborn, but like I never played Dearborn in sports. I never knew anything. I never went there. So
Yeah.
going there was an eye-opening experience.
The only thing we knew about Dearborn was that the Salone's like
Their
authentic Italian grandparents lived in Dearborn for a long time.
Correct.
But that was like that particular neighborhood wasn't it kind of like an Italian neighborhood or not?
No, it was more Middle Eastern.
Oh, okay.
But like we would go there for the food, and then we
Yeah.
would cruise Michigan Avenue to Detroit, and that was really it. You know?
Right.
So I go there, and they drop me off, or they tell me where to go, and I go to this barbershop called Creative Image in East Dearborn. Warren and Schaefer, the heart of it. And I walk in, and you could have heard a pin drop. I was the only white guy in there. They were like, where?
The only Caucasian persuasion.
Yeah,
in
no
there.
one spoke English but the barber that I went to. Now, Ahmed Sahar, 6.5 years later.
Wow.
I'm still going to him.
No way.
Yeah.
No way. You still have the same barber?
I swear.
Wow.
Better Shabab.
Oh, 100.
No, I literally, yeah. So at work, a lot of the people, they call me the honorary Arab.
Yeah, 100%. You probably see white guys walk in there and like, bro, who's this guy?
Yeah, and it's just so funny. Yeah, everyone it's just a funny inside joke. But yeah, no, all the Chaldeans at Rocket, you know, if we'd be talking and I could figure they were Chaldean, I would say, do you know the Bacals? And every single time, everyone's like, are you fucking kidding me? Everyone knows the Bacals. And then I would drop Pierre's name, and any Chaldean person I've met at Rocket, with the exception of one, and this guy's 45 and he's from the East Side. While he knows the Bacal name, he just didn't know you because he's 45, you know. But every single one knew Pierre very well. There's a liquor store down the street from where I live, and it's owned by the Jamil family. And Vinny Jamil, I was talking to him one time, and he was like, "Where'd you grow up, Brighton?" He's like, oh, "Okay." He's like, "Were there any Chaldeans out there?" Like, just kind of joking. And I was like, Pierre Bacal. I was like, "I don't know if you know him." He's like, "Come on, bro, that's Mr. Celebrity. Everybody knows Pierre Bacal."
I wouldn't say that.
Those were his exact words, Mr. Celebrity.
I wouldn't say that, but Vinny's the boy.
So yeah, no, I just kind of fit right in.
Any funny stories about anything or any like character traits about it that you think is hilarious?
Like in terms of what?
In terms of the way that maybe they talk or they act in comparison to everybody else? Or no?
So this is kind of funny. This was like something my director actually said, and because she grew up in East Sterling Heights, the Chaldean part of
the East Side spot.
Yeah, the East Side spot. And one time, there's 2 kids on my team that are Chaldean. Well, Brian is not a kid; he's 45, but this other guy's 27. They were talking about, you know, growing up in, you know, Sterling, and my my director Kelly, she's like, "Yeah, I remember growing up. I was on an all Chaldean street." She's like, "We were the only family that didn't have a kitchen in our garage."
The garage kitchen.
the garage kitchen
Oh my
or the basement
goodness.
kitchen. And I was like,
they have to have a garage kitchen, guys, because it's gonna stink up the house. Some of the food.
and I remember going to Pierre's house. They always had the biggest freezer. I don't know if it was in the garage or the boathouse.
filled with takrata, cheese pies all day,
man.
like to the brim, like.
Pacha, Briehi.
There you go. You're gonna pull out you're gonna name drop some. You're name dropping some
I'm
stuff.
trying to, and then obviously, what I learned in the culture is that you don't really mess with the upstairs.
Right.
The upstairs
Yeah,
remains nice and elegant. And then
Is that true at your house, G, or no?
No, not really.
Well, you don't have company upstairs.
Oh no, yeah, no, not company. No.
Yeah.
No, company, it always goes
Yeah.
downstairs
Yeah.
to the casual section.
Right.
What's your favorite Chaldean food? I want to ask.
Briehi.
Biryani, huh?
Biryani,
Oh,
yeah.
biryani.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
delicious.
fun.
I don't really mess with Pacha.
Me either.
Me three.
I've never had it.
Me three. Never had it?
No,
Oh man.
I'm not trying that.
Yeah, it's
Biryani,
yeah, but
that's-
people go crazy for it. But
Yeah.
that's hilarious. So, okay, so one thing that we also bond over is NFL football, which I already talked about, right?
Yep.
And I didn't even know your connection to football, but what I found out, it was really special, especially when we lived in Pittsburgh. So tell everybody really a little bit about your parents and your mom, and then your grandpa.
Yeah, so my mom, her grandfather, her father, my grandfather, late grandfather, was Chuck Knox, very successful NFL coach head coach for a little over 20 years. For a long time, he held, I think it was the eighth most wins. And then within the last couple of years, people have since passed him, but he's still in the top 15.
That's doggy.
Only coach.
Let's go.
Greatest of his time.
He was one of the greatest of his time, for sure.
Only coach to take 3 different teams to the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Only coach to be coach of the year with different teams. So he was coach of the year with the LA Rams, coach of the year with the Buffalo Bills, and the coach of the year with Seattle Seahawks. It was just he was very successful, and it was really cool to grow up in that type of household, because my uncle was also a coach.
Yeah, no, it was really cool to be around it, and we had some nice experiences when we were growing up. I bring that up because we've been lucky to make a couple trips for football, and one of the great trips that we went to we went to Seattle.
Yeah.
And that was a great time.
It was awesome.
So because Bennett's grandpa coached for the Seahawks, he was was he the first coach, because it was a new franchise in the 70s
Yeah,
or
he took
80s?
them. They were trash.
Yeah.
And he took them to the playoffs
Yeah.
like super unexpectedly.
So yeah, he was one of the first coaches for the franchise, right?
There had been a couple coaches before. They had started in the late 70s. He got there in 83.
Okay,
So,
gotcha.
yeah,
So essentially, they love Chuck Knox.
Yeah.
In Seattle.
for sure. Like, what happened was him and the owner didn't mesh in LA. So after his 5 years were up, he didn't renew. He bounced.
Right.
Went to Buffalo, had 4 years of success in Buffalo, but when his contract was up, he didn't necessarily get fired like in LA. He bounced. He went to Seattle and had an amazing 9 or 10 year run and left peacefully. So he's in their Ring of Honor, their Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Yep. And that was awesome that you got to represent him that day.
Yeah.
But I bring it up because to this day, like, they still have very high reverence for Chuck Knox.
Yes.
And when we went to Seattle, we reached out to one of Chuck's old, what would you call him, an apprentice or like basically an assistant of some sort?
Yeah, and he was in charge of like game day stuff and travel.
Yes, Gary Wright.
Gary Wright.
Gary Wright. Shout out to Gary Wright. So Gary Wright, we had reached out to him, and he kind of made it seem like, yeah, I'll do what I can for you. You know, kind of like, like a casual, like, whatever you want to do, we can do, right?
Yeah.
And we didn't know this guy was plugged up, like plugged
goodness.
up.
Well, the other thing too is that he was like, "Yeah, I'll give you guys a tour of the practice facility," and I was kind of like, "Practice facility? What the hell?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
I want to see the stadium." And I was like, "You know what? Something came up. We might not be able to make that." He's like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yeah, thank you so much for the offer, though." I was like, "What are we gonna do with the practice facility?" So I was talking to my dad, and he's like, "No, like that's where it all goes down.
Yeah,
Like,
that's where they live.
you need to go there. And I was like, so I emailed him back. I'm like, as a matter of fact, we changed schedule.
Yeah.
We're going to come meet it. And this guy's key got into every single
So we
room.
pull up to this practice facility, this NFL practice facility, right?
With Jared Wolf, my brother-in-law. Shout out to Jared Wolf.
What up, Jared? And we get there, and like we're talking about like high security. This is the NFL, okay? And this guy casually walks in, gives the security like one of these, and then in every single door, like he lived there, like it was his house. Swear to God, like it was his house. Walking through this door, yeah, this is this and this. We're like, bro, this guy is plugged up.
He had a key to every single room. He even showed us where they keep the liquor for victory celebrations or parties. But what was funny though, what was the one room? Like he showed us all the coaches' rooms. We
Literally
we
all
would
the
have met
coaches'
Pete
rooms.
Carroll, but he was on the phone. Pete
Yeah.
waved to us.
Yeah, we walked by Daryl Bevel, literally working in his office. Like just walked by him, like he just did like one of these, you know.
But there
And-
was one room we could not see. What was that room?
yeah. So
I always thought this was so interesting.
So keep in mind, we had seen like literally the whole facility, equipment room, cigar room, locker room. We met a couple players. We did
Yeah.
this. And then we walked by the draft room. And then he's like, sorry. He's like, guys, I'm really sorry. I just can't take you into the draft room. And we're like, oh,
No way. Like it's that serious. He's like, that's the one room I can't take you in right now. I'm like, it's December 1st. Like draft isn't for a few months. And he's like, no, I'm sorry. That's
I
literally
can't do it.
I
Yeah.
can't do it.
That's sus.
well, they have like their trade secrets in there, you know, like everyone that
okay.
they've been like scouting and you know, the guys they have their eye on. So Gary Wright, man, your loyalty is strong, my brother.
Yeah. It was so cool.
Yeah. We even got a chance to go into their meeting room, and in their meeting room they literally have like, it's like an auditorium, like if you imagine like a college auditorium, and they have a basketball hoop in there, like in there. Took a couple shots, you
Yeah.
know. That was an amazing experience. I'm forever thankful to Gary for doing that for
Yeah.
us. And then we go to the game, and this is Carson Wentz's almost MVP season. This is like he's having like a monster year. He ended up tearing his ACL like the game or two after,
Right.
Against I think the Rams. But this game he was in Seattle on the road against Russell Wilson
Sunday Night Football.
and Sunday Night Football, and we knew we had to make an impact for the
Shout out to
Seattle-
Michelle Tafoya.
Yeah, what up, Michelle? We knew we had to make an impact for the Seahawks to win, and we still have a video on our phone of a very memorable moment where Jake Elliott, still the kicker for the Eagles, believe it or not, still the kicker for the Eagles. he's warming up.
I'm not proud of this. With G here, I'm not proud of this.
He's warming up, and he goes, "Hey Elliott, if you're here, who's home screwing your wife?" And he didn't say screw.
And everyone around me loved it, but I'm not proud of that. G, I apologize for that.
Don't worry.
We got the win though. Go Seattle. We cashed in that day. Jimmy
Yep.
Graham had a touchdown. It was a great game. And Carson Wentz, another one of those quarterbacks, big, fast, strong.
Yep.
So I think you're right about that.
Yep.
But that was an amazing experience.
Post game, we get food, and like, I don't know if this is necessarily something that you've noticed over the years, but I have in our 20
About
years of
me?
friendship. Yes, like
Okay.
you always get fucked over on food. And like you order the simplest things, yet it always seems to mess up. Like
Everyone knows that about me.
I
Like,
don't understand. Like other people have picked up on that.
Oh yeah.
It's like you're cursed or something.
I
Like your
really
food
am.
orders always go wrong. So we ordered some Italian cheap takeout and we brought it back. And first,
Oh my God.
first the orders kind of messed up. And you're just like, whatever, I'm hungry, I'm gonna eat it. Second, you undo the pop. And the pop must have
Showered.
been shaken, just
Showered.
showered all over you, all over the food. And I just felt so bad because mine was fine. And I was just like, bro, it's just your bad luck.
I know. When
with
it comes
food.
to food, I still found a way to eat my fair share. But man, I'm telling you, they're screwing us.
one other funny, I don't know if you were about to get to it, but can I intrude the last line?
The what?
The morning. So the hotel room was fine. It was a Holiday Inn. But when Pierre had asked for something, I forget what it was. As soon as we got there, he's like, can I please have X, Y, and Z in my room? And they're like, absolutely, we'll bring that up. This is a Friday night. They never bring it up. Saturday, when we get into the room, there was still trash in the trash can, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but you don't want to see that at
It's
your
not
hotel
professional.
room. Yeah, I'm whatever. So Saturday, right before we go to the Seahawks, I dropped my phone. And it wasn't necessarily under the bed, but it was like by it. So I reached down and there's like a hairbrush. It was just like gross, Pierre's like, no, man, this is unacceptable. We're going to have to address this. So then we go, and then the next day is the game. And then in the morning, I'm like, Pierre, like, what are we going to say? Like, this is on our way to the airport, like as we're going down the elevator. And Pierre's like, B, I'm so tired. Like, I don't want to say anything. Like, let's just pay and get out. And I'm like, we got to say something. We got to say something. Like, what should I say? Tell me what to say, And you're like, B, please, bro. And then we get down and you're like, all right, I'm going to say something. So Pierre goes up and he just starts schooling the manager very professionally, but sternly. And the guy like kind of is taken back by it. And he's like, are you in the business? And Pierre's like, I'm the regional so-and-so of 3 different things. And the guy's like, corporate? And Pierre's like, no, the franchise, but that's beside the point. Let's get back to it. I'm going to give you one opportunity to make me satisfied with my stay. And I'm biting my lip. I'm in the back. I'm trying so hard not to laugh because the guy was just stunned. And the guy like kind of freezes. He shakes a little bit. He's like, half off? And Pierre was like, that would be fair. And we got half off on the trip.
But what did I do? Though? I swear it wasn't even about the money. I told him, I said, look, I would love the opportunity to write a glowing TripAdvisor review for you.
Yeah.
I would love to mention your name. All right. You seem like a nice guy.
Yep.
Unfortunately, if my stay and my situation remains consistent with what it's been,
right,
I'm gonna have to do the opposite. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna give you one opportunity.
I'm gonna give you one opportunity to make me satisfied with my stay. And the guy was like, half off? And Pierre's like, that would be fair. And then we do,
that's a fun one, man. That's a fun one.
We saved a lot of money on that.
We did. So the last kind of thing we'll touch on, unless there's anything else you want to talk about, was I was very honored that you had chosen me to be your best man.
Yeah, of course.
So Bennett got married New Year's Eve of not 2022, but 2021. Mm-hmm. Right. And, I was luckily his best man, and we were able to plan a trip up north. We did a little up north situation. And
let me interrupt. I got to.
Go ahead.
So the wedding was supposed to be in December of 2020, but obviously COVID took off and we had to push it back a year because we were doing it on New Year's Eve. But I wasn't really going to have a bachelor party. I was just like, it's not really worth it. COVID's going crazy, whatever. And Pierre's like, no, like we're having a bachelor party. And Pierre planned like this absolutely, it wasn't anything crazy. It wasn't like Vegas or anything, but I really wanted to show all my non-Michigan buddies up north. Mm-hmm. I take a lot of pride and love for up north.
Absolutely.
And we got a super cool, it wasn't even a cabin. It was a massive house. It was brand new too. What was hilarious is Pierre, he part of like everyone's 500 that went into this trip for food, the boats that we ordered. Part of it was a basketball hoop just for the 2 days or 3 days we were there. Literally. So Pierre put up a basketball hoop and I'm like, seriously? He's like, B, people are going to like it. Trust me, I know how to run a bachelor party. So he tells the like butler guy like who was there, he's like, are you going to set this up for me? And the guy's like, I guess. Okay. So he set it up, whatever. And then like the last night, it was only three days and 2 nights, but the last night, everyone's like, damn, dude, like, this has been a fucking great 2 days. Like, this is a fucking fun bachelor party. I'm like, yeah, Pierre, dude, this is unbelievable. And Pierre's like, B, am I the worst man or am I the best man?
You said it, man.
Yeah, it was chilling. So.
Yeah, that one was funny. And then I know you always get a laugh at the 2 other ones, which is some people like mayo. And the fresh towels.
Phil DeVore. Shout out to Phil DeVore. He to this day never stops laughing if he said like fresh mayo. That's like that one's kind of hard to explain because I wasn't there for that one.
Some people like mayo. Or
Some people like mayo. No, some people like mayo, but the fresh towels. We were getting ready to go on the boats, and I was like, Pete, is there anything you need me to do before we leave? And he's like, Pierre's like, I put the towels in the wash. Please go down and put them in the dryer. And I'm like, you wash the towels? And you're like, B, everyone likes fresh towels. And I'm like, true. And all my buddies were like, fuck, like, that's a great idea. Like, get the towels.
That's the hospitality.
That's the hospitality.
I like my shit clean, crispy, ready to get out the shower. But nah, man, that was a great trip, man. I was honored and very lucky to have that opportunity to plan that trip. And God willing, down the road, if your family is able to expand, we're having a baptism party. Erica, we're having a baptism party. All your guys' wives, we're having baptism parties, and I'm taking all the boys with me, so we're going to do it again.
Yeah, this will probably air. When will this air?
2 weeks, a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Okay, so yeah, it'll probably be on. I don't know if it'll be super public, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, are you making a?
Well, this could be. I don't know. I don't know when my wife wants to. It depends, because this could be edited out potentially, right? If we need
whatever you want.
But yeah, if Erica's down, yeah, Eric and I are having a baby, and obviously,
Wow.
Let's go.
Thank you.
That's amazing.
Obviously, I don't really know what the next steps would be baptism wise, but if we do have one, obviously,
if you choose to raise your child in the Catholic faith, and there is a godfather, and I have that honor.
Well, even if we're not in the Catholic faith, because Erica's not, we might do a non-denominational thing, but I would the role of godfather. I know how much pride the Chaldean people take in it. I'm the honorary Chaldean.
Yeah.
And I feel like there'd be no other better role model.
I love you, man.
Pierre Chambacall.
I love you, brother.
Or as Pat McNulty would say, the prince.
That's my dog, man. Patty, man. You're gonna be on this couch soon too. We're gonna clown. Nah, man, I'm honored, man. And boy or girl, they're gonna get, all the love that I got, and badass gifts.
Mm-hmm.
Badass gifts. Any other stories or anything else you want to talk about before we get off the air tonight?
Not off the top of my head. It's just been an honor and a pleasure. I'm so happy for you. I know this has been something, anything media related, like growing up, obviously you thought about going to California, and you did. You got to live that experience. When we were growing up, podcasts weren't a thing,
No, they were.
Even in college, the only person I knew that had a podcast was Bill Burr, and it was just put up on YouTube. There was no video or nothing, and now podcasts are kind of the thing.
Right.
And
everybody and their mom
cool
has
what you and G have done. I mean, this is incredible.
Thank you, bro.
It's going to be, I'm so excited to see what happens from here.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. We're blessed to have amazing people like you and everyone supporting right now. Because this is where it starts. Obviously, you want to be, regional, national, global, but it starts local. And to have our people and everyone support us, man, it means the world, bro. Love you, man.
Love you too.
Thank you for coming through. It won't be the last time. I'm sure I'll have you on for some sports related content. And as we get into the NFL season here, and maybe even the NBA playoffs, I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about. So.
100%. Talk about how good LeBron is.
Hey, for the record, I really do think the Lakers are making a run this year. Like they're heating up.
What about Austin Reeves?
He's got a signature shoe coming out.
I saw that, dude.
Bro,
gnarly.
Country Mamba, baby.
Crazy. Do you like Austin Reeves?
He's all right. He's pretty good.
Okay. Did you play basketball?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where'd you go to high school?
I went to Marion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She's got skills, bro.
No way.
Yeah, she's got skills. She's been, not gonna lie, man. I did beat her in bowling, but she's beating me in almost everything else. But we got some stuff planned. So
heck yeah.
I have to ask you before you leave, who do you think is gonna win the championship this year? NBA.
NBA championship? Oof. Man, that's a good question. I haven't been paying. I'm a little embarrassed. I haven't been paying too much attention lately.
LeBron's not in it. Bennett doesn't watch it.
No, but I love Draymond Green.
Me too. Actually, he's controversial, but
oh yeah. So he was a year older than Pierre and I, and he was Mr. Basketball when we were juniors in high school. Like I knew about Draymond in high school, and to see like what he's become. Like obviously he was a good player. He was going to Michigan State.
Yeah.
He's from Saginaw. A lot of people from Flint and Saginaw, they go to Michigan State. But just to see what he's become, I mean, he's a Hall of Fame player. The defense and stuff. He is controversial, but in a fun way, you know.
He
just plays hard.
Yeah.
I'm
surprised you like him, to be honest, just because I'm serious. I am surprised you like him because he's one of those
I like
players.
the Warriors. You know me.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, you are a Warriors fan.
Yeah, I mean they're not my first choice, but I do really like the Warriors for sure. Yeah.
My thing is like I think for so many people, Draymond is one of those guys where like if he's on your team, like you absolutely love him. Otherwise, you don't care for him.
Yeah.
You know, and for me personally, and I, as a Michigan State Spartan, I love what Draymond Green represents. But even myself, I feel that way sometimes, where it's like, bro, it's not likable. It's sometimes it's annoying. But as a basketball player and someone who's not super skilled myself and just knows that I impact winning the similar ways that he does, passing the ball, making the dirty plays, setting tough screens, you have to respect the winning. You have to respect.
Oh, he's incredible. Anyone who says he's not, I don't want to say it disrespectfully, but you really don't understand the game of basketball.
No,
he's
for sure.
so good. Just someone who like he defines knowing your role, and he excels at that.
Right.
You know.
No, for sure. Well, I think that's a good spot, man. I love you, brother. Thank you for coming by at the GOAT Pod. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We'll see Bennett early and often, in this upcoming year. So, congratulations again, man. I wish you and Erica the most beautiful parenting experience that's out there. So
Yeah.
cool.
Congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
exciting.
Thank you very much. I
Thanks
appreciate
again
that.
for coming by. Wolzia. Give him a Wolzia.
Wolzia.